I think we're pretty good at that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think we're on live. We're on Facebook now.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
So you ready for tonight?
Absolutely. Always ready. How about you?
Yeah, I am. I'm actually, I got some rest today because working from home is basically, I find I exert more energy working from home. There's no time limit.
I think you actually have to be stricter with yourself when you do work from home and sort of say, right, I'm going to finish at this time and I'll start at that time and then walk away from it.
I agree.
Impossible, but...
Well, no, you actually have to make it possible. Look, I think this COVID-19 was a sudden change for all of us, a sudden adaptation period we're all going through. And I've noticed working from home, I've got the laptop, I'm in a dining room at the moment. I've got 2 board games on top of each other to keep the camera up high, eye level. But because I'm so comfortable working, I don't spend 1 hour or half an hour on lunch.
Really?
So as of next week, yeah, I realize I've got a bad habit. I bring my bowl of whatever I'm going to eat for lunch to the table I'm working at.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I've been telling my team, don't do that. And
Yep. Get up and walk away from it.
But you know what it's like? It's like, in all honesty, and this is something we've still got another couple of minutes, but I think we can have this intro as well the same way. But I feel like I'm hypnotized in front of the machine the whole time. And I'm like, get this email. Okay, so we've got this webinar. Oh, we've got this show coming on. But today I had some time to do some cooking for my family.
And what did you cook?
A bit of fish. Don't ask me what type. I have no idea what type it is.
That doesn't sort of sound too, sort of...
Enthusiastic?
No.
I'm not the best cook, that's why. It's something I'm discovering myself as well. But no one ended up hungry, so it was good. Everyone ended up
poison?
Full belly. No poisoning.
Oh, I've had food poisoning twice, and I don't wish that on anyone. Once in Australia and once in the south of France, both hospitalised for both. Yeah. Oy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's why I won't eat, anything off the streets anymore, like the mussels and that are warm. I won't touch them.
What are they in Turkish?
I know. I've tried them and I love them, but I just think, nope, don't do it.
So
what about your daughter? Is she a good cook?
Is she a good cook? She's a good meal preparer in a sense that she sets the table really well. She heats the food really well. So that's why I call her a meal preparer. She cooks pancakes with me. We have a weekend breakfast. If it's a pancake time, it's pancakes. So she's quite good at flipping it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So she makes toast. She's not bad, actually. Not bad for a 12-year-old. I don't recall cooking when I was 12.
I do.
Have you? Is it a passion, or do you do it because
I love cooking. It just relaxes me. And at one stage in my life in Australia, I had a hotel, and the cook didn't turn up, and we had a wedding that night, and myself and a kitchen hand cooked and served 600 meals.
Wow.
Wow. So you just got to jump in and do it when the chef doesn't arrive. Thank goodness she was really, really good to work with. So we did. So no, I love cooking, but I always cook too much. And then I've got up in the freezer, so then I don't have to cook for another month.
It's good having a frozen food. But Roz, it's funny. It's 8:01. You and I are just having a conversation. We've got people. Özlem, I have to read out your comment. And she wrote, "Hi, you are great. Cooking is hard, really." I find it hard, Özlem. I totally agree. But I think we've got people joining us, but I don't want to wait too long. I'd like to do the introduction and welcome everybody.
Okay, go for it.
So, and then we'll kick off right away because it's a nice session coming up.
Yes.
Great. Hoş geldin arkadaşlar. Bu akşamki eğitimimizde Academic Writing Task 2 Biraz bir yoğun geçeceğini söyleyeyim size. Şimdiden hazırlıklı olun. Telefonlarınızı hazırlayın. Fotoğraf çekebilirsiniz. Notlarınızı alabilirsiniz. İsmim Seval. IDP IELTS Türkiye'nin yetkilisiyim. Roz IELTS uzmanımız. 4. haftamız, 4. eğitim birlikte veriyoruz. Umarım tekrar gelen arkadaşlarımıza tekrar hoş geldiniz. Yeni katılanlara da aramıza sizler de hoş geldiniz. Kameralarımızı açmayalım lütfen. Sadece internetimizi o bandwidth'e zorlamamak adına. Sorularınız varsa seve seve hepsini cevaplamaya çalışıyoruz. Her zaman yaptığımız gibi. Siz yazın sorularınızı chat kutusuna. Ben müsait olduğu zaman eğitimimizi de çok bölmek istemiyorum. Pazar günü onu öğrendim. Sorularımızı cevaplayacağız bugün. Bunun haricinde bu akşam saat 8'e aldık özellikle. Çünkü akşam 7'de, 19'da normalde bizim eğitimimiz. IDP Dubai'den bizim uzmanımıza sorularınızı sormak için bir etkinliğimiz vardı. Onunla aynı saati gelmemek için bu saatimizi biraz geriye aldık. So Türkçe, İngilizce biraz karıştırarak konuşacağım. Welcome everybody. Welcome to our 4th session with myself. I'm the country manager of Turkey, IDP Turkey, and with Roz, our IELTS expert.
Hi.
So Roz, before we go ahead and get right into it, just a few housekeeping stuff. Everyone, welcome back if you've come back to our 4th session, or welcome to the newcomers. Hope to see you in the following sessions as well. We moved tonight's session to 8 p.m. because we had a 7 p.m. From our regional session, which was IELTS asking questions to our IELTS expert. So it was a question and answer response session. We didn't want you to miss out on that. That's why we moved this one an hour. Apart from that, please keep your cameras switched off. It just saves us on the bandwidth, and we don't want to go through any tech issues. But if we do have technology issues, just bear with us. I think it's quite normal these days. Chat in the chat box, ask away your questions. I will ask Roz the questions at the appropriate time. I had some learning from last week, so I won't interrupt her, but we will get there. And lastly, get your cameras out, take some photos, because it's going to be a nice heavy session tonight. Roz.
Yes, it is heavy. Essay writing, isn't it? It is.
Surely is. So academic, I forgot to say that, academic writing task 2, but the new name is part 2. So we're going to have a series of these in the next couple of sessions. Roz, very quickly, let's touch base. How was your day? How's the weather in Ege today?
It's magnificent weather here still, and I hope it continues. What about Istanbul?
Total overcast. I was working from home. I was, again, Australian, wearing shorts. I got cold, so I had to put the heats on. I put on a quick, like a sweater on as well. So it was, I didn't go outside, but in the house it was quite cool. And it was a sad skyline tonight.
Well, I give you all the sunshine from here. It's been beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I hope, usually I find that within 2 days, Istanbul weather comes to the Aegean. So if you've got cold, rainy weather now, it might be coming our way, unfortunately, but I don't care.
Look, I think all the weather is what we all enjoy. It's what comes with it. I think with COVID-19 being so present in our lifestyle and all the changes we had to adapt to, that we were just discussing it before everyone came online, but it's the fast adaptation we're all going through. Look at us. We're on virtual events at the moment, and it was just a click of fingers. We've got an amazing team in the back end doing all our tech stuff. So superheroes is what I want to call them.
And we've got the easy part.
We do.
Oh, here come the hearts on my screen again.
So this is awesome. So I think what I want to do, this is a great example. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a section at the top. Oh, someone's drawing a heart for us. That's wonderful. If we cannot please use the whiteboard as Roz, we'll be using a whiteboard, and that love heart is absolutely awesome. If we can take it away, I'd really appreciate it. Maybe we can, maybe we don't know how to take it away, but that's fine. Arkadaşlar.
There it goes.
It's gone. Did you take it away?
No.
It's gone. eğitmenimiz yani uzmanımız bu akşam whiteboard'u kullanacak. Geçen pazar günü fark ettik. Böyle küçük küçük kalpler geliyordu. Sizlerden, seyircilerimizden yapılan bir durum söz konusuymuş. Bu akşam katılmadan önce biz de denedik. Sizden ricam öyle bir şey yapmazsak en azından eğitimimizi bölmemiş oluruz. Kalplerinizi buradan hissediyoruz. Çok teşekkür ederiz.
Save them up till the end.
We will. Awesome. So just one thing, we were talking about cooking and a lot of the viewers heard about the cooking. So I'm not a good cook and so forth, but the major adaptation I'm finding hard for myself, working from home. I work from the office 1 day a week. Working from home, and I've got 2 board games lifted up with my laptop, so I've got eye level to the camera. And I just got so into it, I don't actually make time for quality lunch.
So one might say that your laptop is hypnotizing you. I must watch.
And it's all those emails coming through, all the webinars we do, you know, here's a meeting. So I've never been hypnotized before, but hypnotism, I've heard a lot about it. It's very influential. And
it is. And I'm just going to use that as a little bit of a topic later on.
Awesome. So we should crack onto it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Saval. And hi and welcome, everyone. Now, the reason I've broken this down into 3 sessions is because essay writing is such a heavy topic. And if I give it to you all and blast you in one session, you'll walk away like a bomb has been dropped, just shaking your head going, what did she say? So I've broke it down and we're going to do step by step. And tonight we're going to be doing and talking about how much preparation time before the exam do I need? Where do I start and how do I gather the necessary skills? Punctuation, linking words, discourse markers, and also some grammatical structures. And then you can go heart crazy to your little heart's content all over the screen right at the end. I'm fine. So first up, a lot of people ask me, you know, like, Ros, how much time do I need to prepare? Hopefully they just haven't asked me that 2 days before the exam, because then I just really roll my eyes. But listen, and I've had that a lot, and I just sort of go, oh. But look, the longer you can take to prepare yourself, the better off you are. If you have the luxury of having 6 months to prepare for this exam, please take it and use it wisely. Don't use it unwisely that time. So plan ahead, always plan ahead. We have to plan, that's life. Also, in my opinion, I think the minimum would be at least 36 hours in preparation time. And that means that if you can't do every week, that spreads it out over a longer time. But if you can sort of focus on it, for example, 1 hour every night, well, you'll find that 36 hours goes extremely quickly and then you're ready. But yes.
That would be 36 days, really.
Sorry?
That would equal to 36 days, right?
Yeah, if you just did an hour a day, that's right. But you definitely need to prepare yourself, especially if you find that you are at a lower band level and you want to jump up at least, you know, maybe 2 band levels, you need that time to prepare. And the last thing that I would say is when you do start writing, please use the IELTS Writing Assist. Saval can tell you more about that, but it will assist your, you know, and give you some feedback about your levels, your strengths, your weaknesses, problem areas, what you can do more. And it's from, you know, suitably qualified people who are looking at your writing. True, Saval?
Yeah. Thanks for that, Ros. I wasn't expecting that spin-off on that one. So
throw that to you.
Thank you. I'd like from my team, if you can put the link into the chat where all our assists are there. So it's preparation tools that we have on our website, ladies and gentlemen. So there's a reading, writing, and a speaking assist. So unfortunately, they come across with a cost. As Ros said, they're human marked, and you don't get a score in either of them, but you get a full length of feedback. But I highly recommend that, Ros, the IELTS Writing Assist towards the end of their preparation. You know, it's that's what I would say towards the end of the preparation.
Extremely helpful. Extremely helpful. And I know that the speaking assist is extremely helpful for candidates as well.
Yeah.
So here are some of my suggestions about where to start. Now I'm just going to put this up here. Now, read articles every day. For example, news events, financial updates, topics from National Geographic. Again, you may roll your eyes, but you have to inform yourself and build up your topic bank that you can write about. Instead of looking at the topic and going, I've got no idea what that is, I've got no idea what to write. Please help yourselves. I keep saying, it's your future. You have to grab it and you have to take it and you have to go forward. Now, while you are reading, just underline or make a note of any vocab that is unfamiliar. And then look it up in an English dictionary. Please be careful about Turkish to English, because English has a lot more words in the language, and therefore translating will not be accurate. And so please do English to English. And then if you see a sentence underneath and you don't understand the full sentence, look up the word in that. And believe me, you'll break it down and you'll end up being able to understand the whole sentence that's written below the word in the dictionary. And don't forget, just a little thing for speaking, have a look at the pronunciation too while you're there.
Well, you click on the little icon of the speaker, don't you, for the pronunciation?
Yeah, but also it's got the phonetic spelling there.
Okay.
And you don't have to be super familiar with phonetics to understand that it's broken down into syllables, you know, and you can pronounce it. But yes, do listen as well.
Yeah, cool.
So then after you find the meaning in the English dictionary, write a sentence using the word. Have a look at the sentence that's in the dictionary and then write your own. So that way you're using it in the correct structure that you need to use it in the exam. Also, for the same word, look for synonyms and opposites and write those down as well. That way, you've just boosted, from one word, you may have boosted your vocabulary by 10 words. You know, how wonderful. And write sentences again with the synonyms and opposites as well. The other way to improve yourself is when you're reading articles, look at the way the paragraphs begin. Find the main topic, which is generally within the first sentence because it's introducing the paragraph. Sometimes clever writers will leave the main topic to the last, but most that you'll see will have it in the beginning. So underline the main topic and then find every supporting idea that you can in that same paragraph. And then presto, this is what you have to do. This is how you have to write. You have to introduce the main topic and you have to support it with ideas in that paragraph. So by reading and learning and practicing, you're teaching yourself how to do it. The other thing that I want you to look for too, discourse markers, cohesive devices, etc., linking words, etc. If they're big words to you, discourse markers, look them up. I always think of discourse markers as little signposts on the road. They're telling you which way this is going to go and which way you should go. So think of them like that.
Question.
Yes.
Put my hand up.
I'll wait to the end.
I'm sorry.
I'm joking.
Can you throw us a few discourse markers examples off the top of your head?
What did you just say?
Can you throw us a couple of examples of discourse markers from the top of your head?
Did you just say, yeah, for example? Yeah, for example is a discourse marker. And, you know, let's get a bit more in depth about this topic. Therefore, however, also.
Okay.
Yeah, all those sorts of things. Cohesive devices make your writing flow like a river, okay? You don't want the river stop starting over boulders. You want it flowing nicely down, all right? So do write them down, research them. Now, when you do research them, we're going to go into them a little bit more later, but research them, just write them, look at how they're used in sentences again. Now, all of this is not just going to be written down on scrap pieces of paper, people. Please make an IELTS notebook for yourselves. I keep saying it's your future. Look after your future. Write everything down in it. That way, it's easily referable to. As soon as you want it, it's there. And the last thing about gathering materials, look, IELTS past reading exams, they are a wonderful resource. And I've actually got one a little bit later here that I've taken a couple of paragraphs from. You would be amazed, and I'm just going to whip over and copy and paste that. And we're going to have a look at it.
While you've got that happening, we've got questions coming through, but we've got plenty of time. So I'm not interrupting you now.
Well, Saval, don't take me seriously. You know my personality. The good and the bad and the ugly. Okay, so hypnotism. Now, this is taken, as you can see, written down the bottom from the IELTS, official IELTS practice materials from March 2009, pages 24 and 25. I've only taken 2 paragraphs and not completely, but you can take the time to read the whole article after this session. So hypnosis has been shown through a number of rigorously controlled studies to reduce pain, control blood pressure, and even make warts go away. But because very few studies have attempted to define the actual process involved, most scientists are skeptical of its power and uses. That skepticism has driven David Spiegel, a professor of psychiatry at Stanford University School of Medicine, USA, and other researchers to take a hard look at what happens in the brain during hypnosis. Among researchers, there are 2 schools of thought. One claims that hypnosis fundamentally alters subjects' state of mind. They enter a trance which produces changes in the brain activity. The other believes that hypnosis is simply a matter of suggestibility and relaxation. Now, yes, you're probably thinking, what on earth was that about? Or maybe you're not. Maybe you think, oh, yeah, cool, I understand that. But from these 2 paragraphs, I have taken this. I've picked out vocab. So rigorously means thorough and careful. Synonyms, accurately, meticulously, stringently, because of the way it's used here in the sentence. Rigorously, if I wanted to interchange it with one of these words, I would still put the ly on the end, all right? Now, I might just bump that down a bit. It's a bit prouder there, isn't it?
Yep, awesome.
All right. The next one is warts. I've got warts and all, and it's an idiom. I don't have warts. I don't have warts, but yeah, take me as I am, warts and all. That's it. Warts are small lumps or growth on the skin, and they're extremely difficult to get rid of as well. So you could say a growth or a blemish. Define, and we've got define here, to define. Now remember, it goes together. To define something there is to describe in detail. So synonyms that you could use would be describe, explain, illustrate, specify. Skepticism is a big word, and that means to doubt or disbelieve. Synonyms, reluctance, uncertainty. And the last one that I've picked out is fundamentally, which means basically. But instead of putting, a simple word in there, they've put fundamentally, which lifts your level up. So another word that you could use there for as a synonym would be essentially radically. All right. So just from those two small paragraphs, I've taken those words out. I've increased, I've probably got about 15 words there maybe. So I've increased my topic bank enormously. And this is what you have to do. Comb through everything very carefully and just take out whatever you need. In the next session, we're going to be going into main ideas and supporting topics. Tonight, I just want you to look at how to choose vocab, how to look for synonyms, and how to look for the meanings as well.
Can I interrupt before you go to another page? Because
Perfect.
I'm enjoying this a lot because I'm actually picking up as well. Now, before we go to a new page, we've just had someone comment saying, can we take a photo, please, so we don't come back to the end?
But, absolutely. Before I click over. Yep. Yeah,
before you click over, and I've got a couple of other questions that came through. Are you able to get that hypnotism writing? Now, here's a challenge. Can you make that into black? Can you change color here online?
Well, you mean the whole writing?
Yeah, the two paragraphs that you've used. So when people take a photo, they know that's the two paragraphs.
Just let me have a go.
Try it. And while you do that, I'm going to look into the questions. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, my wonderful team have actually, I couldn't keep up with the chat box last week. So they're actually WhatsApping me the questions so I can be a lot more efficient. So while, Roz, if you can do it, if not.
No, I can't.
Okay, just leave it. So I've got some questions for you. No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your photos. Şimdi fotoğraf çekme zamanı. So I'm going to go through the questions quickly now.
Okay.
So we had Kerim, who's asked us the question, is it useful to read articles from National Geographic or BBC documentary? Would that help me?
Everything. Read as much as you can, you know, like feel like you're a sponge and you want to learn and learn and learn. You know, I still read every day because I'm interested in learning about everything every day. I don't want to be unable to not speak or write about any topic.
And what I did, I want to add something personal because I learned my Turkish in Turkey. The Turkish songs, I don't know them very well. So I'd play the Turkish song and thanks for the song words, you know, the lyrics. Put them up and then move to the beat and sing. And I learned.
We want a video of that.
It's not a challenge. I'm not taking it as a challenge, but that's something we can also recommend. You know,
music is fabulous.
Yeah.
Music. You know, I remember when I was a young, you know, girl, you know, sort of 7 or 8, and I still love music and I loved it then. And I would memorize all the words to every song.
Wow.
You know, so it's a wonderful way of listening, retaining it, repeating it. It's very good. Yeah. Plus it's enjoyable.
It is enjoyable because it gets you to a happy hormones, happy mood.
Absolutely.
Jada's got a question. So I've got 2 questions coming up. That's it. When is it time to pass to no, that's not a comment. Sorry, Jada, you've taken your photo. That's a comment, it's not a question. So she's just saying don't change pages. One question. While we are writing our task 2, what if thoughts about the topic does not come to our minds? What should we do then?
Well, you shouldn't be thinking about it then. You should be doing your plan first. Now, if you bear with me, I'm giving you the steps, step by step of what you should do to prepare yourself. So if you follow these steps, you won't say that when it comes to task 2 or part 2, I should say. To keep reminding myself, you won't come to that point. You'll say, got it, I can do this because I read about this 2 weeks ago. See? Yeah. So you have to follow these steps. Don't get too far ahead of yourself and just do it slowly. Next week will be a different section. And then the last one will be putting everything together.
Okay, right. Because thanks for that. That was Batu's question. And we've got Mohammed before we move to the next page.
Yeah.
Mohammed has asked us, how can we start our writing from which part to another part? I think...
Yep. that's not in today's session.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That will come later on sessions.
Exactly. So we're going to discuss that in the next sessions. Today, I'm just taking you through the steps to prepare before you start.
Excellent.
And if you don't do these steps, go home, Joe.
Yeah, that's where you get stuck in the test, don't you?
Exactly. I'm flipping over to a next page.
Let's go for it. Move along. We're on 8:27. Just giving you a time check.
Oh, so we're going to be short tonight.
We're doing well. We're doing very well.
Now we're up to punctuation. Everyone loves punctuation.
My favorite.
All right. So let me just put this up first. Punctuation. Have a look at these two sentences. Exactly the same. The student left the teachers feeling very disappointed. That focus is on the students in that sentence. I see you looking, Saval.
The teacher left the students. Did you misread that? Am I confused?
The teacher left the students feeling very disappointed.
Okay.
So that focus is on the students. The students are disappointed. But when I put a comma in here, and when I say it, I pause, the teacher left the students feeling very disappointed. That focus is on the teacher.
Because the first sentence, it's the way the students felt. And the second sentence is telling us how the teacher felt.
Exactly. And look how much difference just a little bitty comma made to that. And of course, then when we speak it, we naturally pause. So believe me, people say, why do I have to worry about punctuation? Crikey, punctuation is really, really necessary in order for you to do well in life, in exams, and in your business. So please take the time to learn it. I'm just going to put up some quick explanations. You can do your own research into this, but I'm just going to be putting the basic ones up for now. So we've got full stop, which is just boom. Now with British English, it's called a full stop. But of course, Americans have to be different. They want to call it period. Whereas we British English and Australians have a different meaning for period completely.
I don't think you should jump into that.
I'm not even going to expand on that one. Excuse me. So yes, that is used to mark the end of a sentence. Stop laughing, Saval.
We've got people lolling here on chat. So everyone knows what it is. It's good. We've added some sense of humour to this one. I'm embarrassed at the moment.
It's a perfectly normal. Now I've got the tick back. Yes. Okay. Take a tick off, please. Wait for the end. And then the next one we've got is a comma. So commas help divide a sentence or sentences into meaningful parts, and they're generally used after an initial phrase or clause. And we're going to be doing some work with more punctuation later as well. A colon is used to introduce a list. For example, dates. So if I said to Saval, I'll be in Istanbul on and then I go down 6th of May, down 10th of May, down 12th of May. So that's my list. A semicolon is used in longer sentences to indicate a pause longer than a comma. And then we've got a hyphen. Now I've stuck to the basic ones. A hyphen is used between a compound noun or adjective. For example, 23 or mother-in-law. Rightio. So now you've understood that punctuation can indeed change the meaning of sentences. And just the last little one here is the good old apostrophe.
Where's the apostrophe? I can't see it.
It's coming, honey. It's coming.
Okay.
Yeah. Apostrophe. Either apostrophe S or S apostrophe is used to show something belongs to a group or a person. The apostrophe comes in front of the apostrophe S when the noun is singular, and it comes after the S when the noun is plural. All right.
Can we stop there?
Isn't it cute?
I love it.
But I think they're pretend webinar presenters, you know, get off my turf, guys. You can have a play at the end. We'll give you some time. Don't worry.
I think we will.
Questions. Yeah. Okay. So the next thing so you all have to practice what I've mentioned so far. You have to do some research on punctuation. You have to realize that it's very important for your writing. It's not something you can go without. The next item I want to discuss are cohesive devices. Now, have a look at this little paragraph I wrote today, and I haven't been drinking.
I'm going to interrupt you. Ladies and gentlemen, please stop using the whiteboard. I don't find it funny any longer. So don't highlight, don't do anything what Roz is doing. I request politely, please. Okay, at the end we can have some fun, but let's just stay focused here. Thank you. Sorry, Roz.
You're right. Yep, they're sort of making a bit of a mess of all my nice work, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at this little paragraph. Firstly, I do not think that is true, so therefore do not agree. In this instance, however, on the other hand, it may have some substance to it, but then again not. Secondly, why would someone say that? Consequently, others may agree with the statement, whereas they may agree with me. Blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. Saval, can you make any sense of that sentence?
Oh, God. I just got blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. I'm serious.
Exactly, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I just got the blah, blah, blah. And it's when I'm looking at it, I wasn't reading for meaning either. I was just listening. I was focused on listening to you. Everything just went.
Exactly. And that's because I have thrown in there as many cohesive devices and discourse markers as I could without thinking about the structure of the sentence. So as I've said down here, please use them as required, but not just because you have a list of them that you want to use.
Well, one of the viewers has commented overdose. I like that word. They've overdosed in it.
Absolutely.
Good one, Batuhan.
But, you know, like I've seen instances of this and your eyes just sort of start to get bigger and bigger and bigger and you think, am I crazy? I can't understand this. You know, so please, people, look them up, look how to use them, and remember that as native speakers and writers, we don't use them with every sentence. And if you go back to the hypnotism, they're not used in every sentence. So please use them sparingly and in the correct place. So a bit of a pause here. Do you have any questions or not?
Yeah, we've got one question, but I was kind of leaving that to the end, but maybe something to think about and we can answer towards the end of the session from Didam, because it's like a roundup question. Could you please tell us what you expect to get higher bands in writing task 2?
Okay, we'll come to that at the end.
So we'll do it at the end, yeah.
We'll do the
more appropriate.
Yeah.
We've got one from Batu. It just popped up on my screen. Are discourse markers different from cohesive devices?
He's got to do his homework about that, hasn't he?
Can we respond to that one?
No, I'm not going to, because this is part of it. He has to look it up and ask himself, are they different? What are they? See, this is part of doing the baby steps. Don't just be easy on yourself and say, Roz, are they different? Hey, look them up. You answer your own question. I'm not being tough there. It's just, if you want to do well, you have to start looking them up and understanding the difference between them.
Yep.
All right. So last but not least are sentence structures. And of course, everyone should remember that we have simple, complex, and compound sentences. And again, this is something you have to learn to do. So simple sentences have one clause and make sense on their own. That means they can stand on the page by themselves and everyone says, yep, I understand that sentence. So they make sense on their own. They always contain a verb and they often include a noun. Now, I've just done some little examples here. I want to read more books. It makes sense. It stands on its own. Therefore, it's a simple sentence. Then we go up a scale and we go to a complex sentence. It has an independent clause. Independent clause means it stands on its own. And one or more dependent clauses. Dependent clause means it can't stand on its own. It needs the independent clause to exist. So I've got here the same start. I want to read more books because it will help me. So I want to read more books is the independent clause. Because it will help me is a dependent clause because it won't stand by itself. It needs the other to exist. Then we go on to compound sentences. Now these have two or more independent clauses. Now they can stand alone, these two clauses. So for example, I want to read more books and I need to watch less television. If I took out the and here, both of these sentences would make sense on their own. And that's why it's called a compound sentence. If we just look at this example I've written down here, many students believe that they should have the right to choose what clothes they wear to school. They consider this as an expression of their rights to be independent and to express themselves. However, many parents would disagree. They, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. So I've used a combination of sentences. Now, I've used many compound sentences, complex sentences, and simple sentences. And this is what you have to go on the road to discovery of, is creating and understanding simple, complex, and compound sentences.
So before we're not going to move on to a new page yet. I just want to remind, take your photo now, guys.
No, that's it.
Oh, there's no more new page. Okay.
Short session tonight because it's enough for students to take in and practice.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that as well because it was short. It wasn't too heavy.
I've got the writing coming up again.
Yeah. Can we have fun? Not yet. Can we take that away for now so people can take photos? I want to just go through a couple of questions here. Thank you for that.
I'll put you on a blank page. You can do it.
So let's just go through the questions. A couple of questions.
What about that one that you asked me before?
Yeah, that's again. Basically, it's when is the next session? No, I'm kidding. Could you please tell what you expect to get higher bands in writing task 2?
Okay. Well, I would advise for everyone to download the writing part 2 band descriptors, the public version from IDP.
Yep.
Put you on the spot. Yep. Now, for example, if you wanted to get a 7 for task response, now I'm reading this. For a 7, you have to address all parts of the task. You have to present a clear position throughout the response. Mm-hmm. Presents, extends, and supports main ideas, but there may be a tendency to overgeneralize and or supporting ideas may lack focus. For cohesion and coherence, now that's the flow of your language. Is it logical? For a 7 again, logically organizes information and ideas. There is clear progression throughout. Uses a range of cohesive devices appropriately, although there may be some under or overuse. Remember what I said about cohesive devices. Don't overuse them, don't underuse them. It's a bit like Goldilocks. Think of Goldilocks, sort of going through the cabin and testing all the beds. Oop, that one's too hard. Oop, that one's too soft. Oop, this is just right. And this is what you should be saying to yourself. Yep, This is just right. Now, lexical resource, which is your range of vocabulary. Now, for a 7, uses sufficient range of vocabulary to allow some flexibility and precision. Uses less common lexical terms with some awareness of style and collocation, and may produce occasional errors in word choice, spelling, and or word formation. And lastly, the 4th category is grammatical range and accuracy. Uses a variety of complex structures. This is why you need to learn how to create complex structures and compound structures. Produces frequent error-free sentences. Has a good control of grammar, punctuation, but may make a few errors. So I've mentioned all of these topics tonight as the building block for your IELTS success. You can't build a building without a plan, and this is your plan to start with. Next one, we'll go on with more non-Sunday.
Thanks, Ros. So while you've just explained that, in the chat box, my team has actually added the link, ladies and gentlemen, to the writing band descriptors. Zoom doesn't allow us to click on it any longer automatically, so please copy and paste that in. And what Ros just explained to you, it's the public band descriptors that you should be focusing on. So thank you for that lengthy response. Quick questions. I think we'll have quick fireways. Do I use this? Question mark. So here's the statement.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I didn't know how to read it. Do I use this?
Okay.
I want to read more books and need to watch less TV, owing to the same subject. I didn't understand that.
That doesn't make sense.
So he's saying, or she is saying, do I use this? And this is the phrase coming. I want to read more books and need to watch less TV.
And need to watch less TV? Well, that's what I've written. I want to read more books and I need to watch less TV.
So do I use this sentence? And at the end it says, owing to same subject. So does it belong to the same subject, I think is what they mean.
No, no, it's got nothing to do with that. It's just saying, it's a personal statement of mine, you know, that it's not true, of course, but it's just something that I wrote.
Yeah, I think we didn't understand the question. Can I ask you, the viewer, please rephrase the question or just write in Turkish. Let me go through the challenge of translating
that'll be better.
English. We'll keep going. We can use more phrases instead of verb or nouns while writing. This is Mohammed's question.
Oh, look, you can use noun phrases, adjective phrases, prepositional phrases. You've got a whole, booty load out there of phrases to use, but you have to start practicing and using them correctly. Like we would be here for 6 months if you want me to teach you. But this is not the idea. This is about giving you the groundwork, the structure to continue building on that.
Okay, fantastic. I love that. So here we go. We've got some great questions coming up. Many school teachers I met, they had recommended me to use many linking words in order to get a high mark. Is this correct?
I've just, I've covered that earlier really well, yes, research them, write sentences with them, but use them carefully. Because we, native speakers and writers, don't necessarily use them in every sentence. And it doesn't mean that you're brighter, smarter. It's because it's not natural. Yeah. You have to work out if you're going to do compound sentences, complex sentence, simple sentence.
Thank you for that. So we've got, I'm trying to get through as much as I can. Kerim, your question is about listening. I think, I don't want to confuse the whole idea. So Kerim, I'll come back to your question at the end. Bottle's saying, how do we improve our ability to write faster? Because 40 minutes is not enough.
Well, this is where you have to be more confident in your level. And next week when we go on to, I think it's next week that we're doing planning templates. Excellent. So that's going to be where your planning is super duper important. If you plan well and you spend time doing that, you can write quickly.
thank you very much. You've just responded to another question of a viewer in regards to that. Could you please show us how to prepare writing plan?
Presto.
That's coming up.
Yep.
So this is, again, can you teach us how to write an outline during exam before we start writing our essay? So that's a plan.
Yes. Yeah, that's all the next session on Sunday.
Yeah, wonderful. And I've got lots of Gudkan, thank you very much. Gudkan's put up the PDF of the writing band descriptors. Can you believe it? So
yeah, and I can see it up on the top of the whiteboard too, which is wonderful.
Our team has put that up, but Gudkan's actually put the PDFs. Thanks, Gudkan. You're a legend. Babak has a question. Which type of essays are more common? Discussion/opinion or discussion essays? And could you please explain the difference to what extent essays?
Okay, so we're going to be going into that sort of thing as well, but not today. But as far as which one is more common, we have no idea, Sibel. You know, it's a lucky dip. Those papers and, you know, those exams are all put together and they're sent out. So we have no idea what's coming.
Yeah. And just to tell you guys, with the paper tests, the papers come to our offices, but we don't get to open them until the test morning in front of you. So like Ros said, we don't see the questions. Okay, this lovely viewer has written in Turkish. I'll come back to that. In writing, is grammar important?
Oh, what have I been doing for the last 40 minutes? Yes.
The answer, yes.
Are you drinking? Yes, it is.
Yeah. So Edge's got a great question. Can you teach us how to detail our main ideas in the next lesson?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So next week, can I just tell them what's coming up on Sunday?
Yeah, go for it, because I've got two last questions and then we're going to end tonight.
Okay. So on Sunday, we're going to be looking at reading the instructions and what happens if you don't understand the topic, and this does happen. We're also going to be doing some more work about synonyms. We're going to be having a look at planning templates for main ideas and supporting details. We're going to be brainstorming ideas, and we're going to be covering how to introduce your opinions. And then the week after that, you'll hear on Sunday.
Yeah, excellent. So here we go. The second last question from Bura. Does writing, oh God, it's just moved up. Does writing much more than 250 words, let's say 350 words, hurt our band score? A lot of trainers think that it will have a bad impression on our essay. That's a tough one.
Well, it's not necessary when you're asked to write at least 250 words, number one. Can you write 350 words that are quality, or can you write 250 words that are absolutely top quality? That's what I would say, ask yourself.
Yeah. So I think I'm just trying to keep up. So team, I won't go onto WhatsApp. I'm going to just read off the screen so I don't confuse myself. Didem, I'll answer your question. The question is basically writing, what's the percentage scoring for task 1 and task 2? Well, you've got more time you should be spending on task 2, so it's heavier with the scoring on that end. I hope I've answered your question there. We had that, do you remember that question we didn't understand? I said, write it in Turkish, let me translate it. So
yes,
here we go.
Yes.
I've got it in Turkish. Compound cümle kurarken, oh God. So when you construct a compound sentence, oh no, I don't know this. Team, my team, can somebody please help me and just WhatsApp me the English question for that? I don't understand what özne is. I don't know what that is in English. I'm sorry. While we're doing that, we had a question from Kerim who
we've got the crazy whiteboard scribbler too.
Yeah, I think lots of people. Just you can open up a band.
I'm going to open it.
A blank one, please.
Here, guys. Go for your little hearts to content.
Kerim's question for listening is. Oh, you've stopped sharing, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't know what happened then.
Kerim's okay, we'll just leave it and answer questions. Kerim's question is, if we watch useful programs like, you know, science, documentary, is this useful for our listening ability, is the question.
Absolutely. Listening to anything, you know, music, documentaries, something funny. Someone's taken me off share. So
that's all right.
Yeah.
That would be our admin team, our superheroes in the background. So no worries.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, look, listening to anything, like even, a simple little chat between people is good because it's giving you practice.
Yeah. Team, can I have that Turkish question written to me on WhatsApp, please? Or I need the whole sentence in English. I couldn't translate it. I'm sorry. They've written what özne is. Özne is subject. I'm so sorry. Last, Guray's got a question. What about structure to be followed for any kind of essays? Is there any cheat sheet for that?
Structure as far as how you should introduce main topics and supporting idea?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, as in, would
there's
there be
no
different types of
cheat sheet.
genres?
It's just
genres?
Look, I think look, I would prefer everyone to write individually from their own experiences and their own topic base. And I think that's the best way to do it. If you get too mechanical, the examiner will know that you're just memorizing and repeating it in an essay. So the more that you can put it into your own words, the better off it will be for you.
So actually the question that was written in Turkish is only written to me privately, so I had to send it to my team. They're just translating it for us. Okay. So while we're doing that, before we get to that question, before we close up, everybody, we've got 2 exciting things coming up, but I've got the question being written now. Gee, I'm dying. I'm actually eager to get this question to you.
I might not be able to answer it, but I'll try.
I couldn't translate it. I'm very sorry to our viewer because I couldn't translate it.
No one's perfect. Don't worry.
Subject, verb, and object.
The subject, verb.
When you're creating a compound sentence, when there's a subject. When there's a subject, do we write that subject twice? Do we need to write it twice? And the formula is subject, verb, object.
That's right, for a simple sentence.
Verb, object. Is that how we should write it?
You can, just for a basic sentence, yeah.
Okay, team, thank you. You don't have to translate. I think I've worked it out now, so I'm so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. But just quick wrap up before everyone gets off. These sessions go from Tuesday, Sunday, Tuesday, Sunday. So we're alternating. Sunday, it's at 3 p.m. And this is writing task 2, again, academic, all the topics that Roz has told us. But however, on Saturday, so a day before, again, 3 p.m., same time, I'm going to have an Instagram live session, myself with another guest I've got with me. And the whole idea here is, when is IELTS done in the COVID-19 period? What have they created? What are the new products out? What are the changes? What's coming your way, basically? So join us at 3 p.m. Saturday for an Instagram live session. It won't be Zoom. You'll have to follow us on our Instagram because we've opened it to the whole public with this one, because the whole idea is to give you information, correct information coming from a test center. Thank you very much, everybody. I've just herkese teşekkür ederim in Turkish. Önümüzdeki hafta cumartesi günü saat 15'te genel bilgilendirme bir IELTS bu COVID-19 durumunda neler yaptı, ne yenilikler create yaptı, sizlerle nelerle karşılaşabilirsiniz, hatta neler üzerine çalışabilirsiniz, çalışma materyalleri vesaire. Ben ve başka bir misafir arkadaşımla birlikte 1 saatlik Instagram live session'e davet ediyoruz sizleri. Pazar günü saat 3'te de Academic Writing Task 2'nin 2. eğitim bölümünü diyeyim size. Roz'da tekrar beraber olacağız. Teşekkür ederim. Sağlıkla kalın. Hep mutlu kalın. Görüşmek üzere. Thank you everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Most importantly, everybody, keep smiling. Thank you. Thank you, Roz.
Thank you, Sival. And I ditto everything that you just said. Please stay safe and happy, everyone. And please practice this before Sunday so that you're ready for the next step.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, team.
IDP team. Thank you. You guys rock. Good night, everyone.
Night-night.